Back in 1900, folks took a mighty big step when they first decided to abandon old Dobbin in favor of one of those new contraptions called a horseless carriage.
Well, we decided to buy one of your motor carriages.
Well, I've got one right here, and she's a beauty. The very latest thing in motor cars.
Probably they'd talked and planned and figured for months before they finally decided to spend several $1,000s this way.
What is it?
Why, an automobile. The most modern automobile you could possibly buy.
But it doesn't look like anything we've ever seen.
This is an impossible situation, of course, and it certainly never happened. But let's just suppose it had. What would anyone have done confronted with this automobile 40 years ago? Just what these people did, probably, because they would have been prepared to buy something entirely different. "40 years ago, the horseless carriage folks wanted to buy looked so much like a buggy that they weren't startled by it. It was just what its name implied, a carriage without a horse. Its design was about as far advanced as people were prepared to receive.
My, what a beautiful carriage.
Yes, it is. Yep, a real humdinger.
So they bought the 1900 model motor car, and they called it Beautiful. Would they call it beautiful today? Well, hardly. What makes beauty? In this case, it's style that determines beauty, and the style in 1900 was illustrated in this horseless carriage. It matched the styles of other things people owned. It fitted in with the things people wore. It was in 1900, the beginning of the 20th century, that woman was emerging as a person of individual tastes. She wore a neat travel costume that could be thrown together from not more than 30 yards of cloth. On the street, the leftover bustle, the wasp waist, the waving feather in the hat gave her the appearance of momentarily falling over. This was the 1900 style, from hair rolled high on the head to outward flare at the bottom of the skirt. On the beach, 1900 was the year for coy exposures, and the best costumes ruffled daintily just below the knee, a bit daring according to the comments. Bonnets were quite proper in the water. There was little actual swimming, however, because under this young lady's costume was a waterproof corset. By 1913, women had adopted flippant dresses that showed indiscreet ankles. Although design had become simpler, characterized by the straight outline and kimono sleeve, hair remained rolled up on top of the head, and hats were still top-heavy with cloth bows or sweeping feathers. 1900 fashions were no longer considered beautiful. This was what the woman of 1913 wanted. And the automobile people wanted in 1913 was a chariot that rolled along on big rubber tires. Better materials were being used, and increased efficiency was being reflected in increased refinement of form. By 1928, motor car design had progressed with the ever-changing conception of what is beautiful until the smartly styled car had become simpler, more graceful, its design more expressive of speed. There was little unity between chassis engineering and body styling, but this was the automobile people liked in 1928. In clothes, too, beauty changed, or at least the standard of beauty changed, and by 1928, women had decided that to be beautiful, skirts had to come up and waistlines come down. Hair came down, too. The bob was the thing, but hats came down with it.
What's this?
Oh, we're going to the beach, aren't we? That's my bathing suit.
Bathing suit? That's all the suit you need these days. What'll it be like 10 years from now?
That's easy, just like this. The modern woman is a woman of action who wants the things she wears, the things she uses, the things around her to look useful as well as becoming. Today's bathing girl has thrown away the frills, adopted the practical, the smartly simple clothes that fit into modern times. Today, everything we wear, everything we use, we expect to find styled in the modern manner, styled for today. The styles of yesterday are no longer beautiful because they are no longer timely. To be beautiful, an object must harmonize with everything that will surround it. So as our standards change, beauty changes. Beauty progresses toward simplicity, and to keep up with these changing standards, to give us what we feel is beautiful today, artists, designers, stylists must keep up with this progress and change the style of their products. Each product of modern industry is stylized to meet modern standards, to be beautiful in the modern sense, to blend with all the things of beauty that will surround it in modern life, and to blend within itself into a single unit of beauty that expresses the use to which it will be put. Stylists creating modern products first take the elements they know people like and expect and work toward a unified standard of beauty, a modern, timely beauty. They study modern trends, incorporate desires into their design. They know that people today like long, sweeping lines, so the rhythmic curve, the elements of graceful symmetry, become a part of today's beauty. This is the point toward which our standards of beauty have progressed today, appreciation of the smooth, flowing line. And this is the basic principle of modern motor car design. Stylizing today is a full-time job for the specialized talents of trained men and women. Artists who create the style the public insists on may spend 4 years or more on the design of a single automobile, studying changing human emotions, applying advanced artistic theories, blending the beautiful with the practical. The most important operation in automobile designing is the correlation of ideas, the blending of many artistic impressions into a unit that contains all the elements of good design. The role of the artist is to choose from a variety of possible forms, each of which may be practical, that one form which will be closest to the public's modern standard of beauty. Motor car stylists do not embellish or elaborate, but refine, simplify, perfect. Every smallest detail on the automobile is designed to do its job efficiently, to take on the form and the beauty that will satisfy and please the ultimate user. All the work of all the artists, in order to meet the strict standards of modern beauty, must be blended into a unity that is suited to dash ahead, shaped to cut a path all day long through the resisting air. The mass shape of today's car has been designed from exhaustive experiments in the sciences of aerodynamics and streamlining. Front-end resistance and rear-end suction of every possible shape have been studied. Today, people want practical adaptations of streamlined shapes designed for economical operation, as well as from the angle of beauty. So, artists eliminate protruding shapes from their design and make the overall plan blend into the desirable streamlined shape. In the automobile, a fourth dimension, motion, is both a difficulty to be surmounted and a favorable factor in determining the final design. Even when not in motion, today's motor car will gain its fourth dimension from the careful design of flowing lines and graceful curves. Every detail has quality, distinction, fitness. Most important, it is timely, as beautiful as today, designed to be a part of life today, to blend with everything that fits our standards of beauty today. Remarkable changes have come into the automobile, changes in performance as well as appearance. Changing beauty has given the horseless carriage a style all its own. A style as modern as the clothes you wear, as pleasing and comfortable as the home you live in, as beautiful as the day.